This programme is sponsored by IG, official investment platform of England Cricket.
Broadly mentions Andrew Flintoff. There's quite an interesting article in the Daily Mail actually the other day. Rob Key gave an interview to Lawrence Booth and they went through a variety of things, not least the fact that Andrew Flintoff, who's been out of cricket for a long time, we all understand the reasons why he's come back, yada, yada, yada. But the process of going into that position and getting him to coach the Lions without much coaching experience behind him, and Rob Key was very keen to point out that you don't want to miss out on the experience that Fred has had, and obviously the players like him and his life experiences, which are now extensive. So he defended that decision. Do you think that's a good idea? That, you know, because there were some murmurings, as Lawrence alluded to in his article, that those coaches that perhaps have gone through the ECB path and had to go through these fairly arduous exams to get to level 1, 2, 3 and then 4 are being bypassed by a guy who played but hasn't coached. How do you see that appointment? Because you two might be in the same boat, by the way, at some point.
Yeah. And when you look at what Rob Key has done when he has come in, he has not gone to whoever has got 99 or 100% in the ECB coaching exam from level 1 all the way through to level 4. He has gone and sought out the best man manager, the best team builder that is possibly available. So it's a decision that I actually like, because he sees something in Freddie that he thinks can work as a future coach, possibly for the senior side, and wants to get him involved in the system. Now, the level that he comes in at is very unique, because he might have been identified as the best academy coach, the best under 15 coach, but no, it's the Lions. So to start with, I do like it, because you look at head coaches around the world, the most sought after head coaches, one of them is next door in Ricky Ponting. He's now gone to King's Punjab, but Ricky didn't come through this system as a coach and continues to be associated with some of the biggest jobs around the world. Brendan McCullum's the same, Stephen Fleming is the same, Andy Flower the exact same. So I do like the decision, because it replicates what you might need when it comes to replacing Brendan McCullum in 3 or 4 years' time. And you have a number of candidates, not just Andrew Flintoff, but you're almost identifying what you need to do. And I can remember the process a number of times, either when I was captain or I asked my opinion on who the next coach should be. A lot of the recruitment policy was based around looking at coaches who had been overseas and outside the system and really tested themselves, and not just gone from club cricket to schools cricket, then progressed nicely at a county. That wasn't always the template, and I don't think there should be just one template. There has to be a work back from what does the team actually need, what does Joss Butler need, what does the next potential coach need to be like to work with the new Harry Brook or next captain. So I like the decision. I mean, regardless of the decision that's made, if he had gone for somebody who was under 15s, 17s and 19s England coach, they would have said, well, he's probably not going to get the head coach's job. So there is a level of criticism that comes with it, but I do like it.
What does a young Lion, for example, need? Is it, and will it be technical? You mentioned Josh Hull. I'm sure there are some technical issues that you would like to see him work on and improve and get stronger at. But how much is it at that age, and then you go down perhaps age groups as well, about learning how to be a pro, learning how to grow up, learning to be away from home? Lifestyle advice.
Yeah, all of the above. I think the head coach's role isn't necessarily going to every individual player and picking up on technical things that they can grow with. When we look at the Baz McCullum model in the Test match side, it's very much Marcus Trescothick, who's the batting coach, who will do all the technical work with the players, and Baz will just talk to the guys about lifestyle and how they're feeling mentally and the positive mindset that they need to do to put in place to play well in the game. I like the decision with Freddie Flintoff personally, because I was just sitting there when Morgs was talking, thinking about which English coaches in the past have had a major positive influence on the men's first team, the top tier team. And you think Trevor Bayliss, Aussie, won the World Cup, Duncan Fletcher, Zimbabwean, dragged the team through the early 2000s into 2005. Andy Flower, Zimbabwe. So it's not like English cricket has had a history of English coaches coming through the ranks and being absolutely sensational when they get to the top of the English game. So why not do it slightly differently? Why not go down a different avenue and not have to complete level 1, 2, 3 and 4, pass an exam to then move forward. Because I think the Lions will go to South Africa pre-Christmas and want to sit next to Freddie on the flight and want to be next to him at breakfast and say, what do you enjoy playing here? All that sort of stuff that grows your mindset and inspiration, I suppose. I look back to my schooling days, and the best coaches that I played under at that time was a guy called David Steele and Frank Hayes. David Steele played for Northampton, England, Frank Hayes, Lancashire in England. Never gave me any technical advice. He just told stories that made my love of the game grow. You know, if you got out early, you'd grab the cricket balls and throw them at the flags and talk cricket all the way through. And you know, to me, that just grew my love of the game, grew my passion for wanting to play the game, and that's what being around the Lions is about. It's not about necessarily just putting runs on the board, because we're seeing now this England team not just picking on people who are performing and getting stats on the board. They're picking characters, and you know, that's what going on Lions tours is about. You grow your character, you find out the style of player you want to be, and you pick up technical advice from your peers and your coaching staff when you're there. So I really like the appointment. I like the fact that Rob Key looked at the game very differently, and we can't argue too much with the decisions and the success that he's had personally towards English cricket.